Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my nails and getting them ready for my holiday nails. Lots of growth, lots of lifting, so if you want to see that, just stick around. Alright, so to get started, I've got to remove my old color and I also need to cut down my nails because they're a little bit too long. So I'm starting out with a coarse barrel drill bit. I really like the Kiara Sky I think it's called like the Beyond Pro drill and all of those bits. So I start with the coarse because as you can see, that's taking off the shine. That also takes off the color and I can use that to shorten everything down. At this point, you can see that my drill actually, the battery died. So it is a rechargeable battery that you can also plug in. So I just had to go plug it in real quick and then it was charging while I was using it. So from here you can see I'm just removing everything. So kind of the way I figured I would do this video is I would show you one or two nails and then kind of switch to the next step. I don't really feel like you guys want to see me do all 10 fingers because I feel like that would be like an hour and a half long video. Typically what I'll do is I'll set up my iPad, I'll put a movie on, and it usually takes me like one solid movie to do my nails from start to finish. So you can see here, it's really taking off a lot of the color. So I had blue on my thumb, pointer, and pinky finger. And then I had, it was called Shooting Star, and it's like this really pretty glitter, almost like a confetti type glitter on my middle and ring fingers. So I'm just keep taking off, and I tend to take a little bit longer than a professional. Total disclaimer, I am not a professional. I just do this as a way of self-care because I can do it on my time, take my time, and I just enjoy doing it for myself. I really just shut my phone off. I'll put on a movie and I just really focus on something I enjoy doing. So again, not a professional. This is just how I do it. I've also learned by a lot of trial and error and doing it the hard way, doing it an easy way, doing it the long way. I used to actually completely soak off every single nail and it would take me 3 hours to do my nails versus the hour and a half that it does now. So you can really see that a lot of the color has come off. I always like take short, tiny little strokes. Number one, it prevents like the heat and the burn whenever you hold the drill in place for too long. And number two, it really lets me be precise and exact. Again, if you choose to do this for yourself, it is trial and error. There's a lot of videos and I can link some of my favorite YouTubers that I've learned from below. But yeah, just take your time, be careful with it, and you'll learn. It just takes practice. So after I do all the color removal, I'm shortening them. So like I said, they got too long. I want to say this has about 6 weeks worth of growth for my length. I like to do my nails every 2 to 3 weeks just because I get bored of the color. So I'm not taking off this time. I am not taking off the natural base coat, I guess you could call it. So everything that I do use is the Kiara Sky Dip Powder. That's the system that I have found works the best for me. I've tried gel polish, but my nails are so brittle and I'm so hard on my fingers that I tend to just demolish gel within a week. So the dip powder is what I have found works the best, hands down, for me. So for my pinky, or oh my gosh, not my pinky, my pointer finger, I decided to save a little bit of time and actually shorten before I file it off because for my thumb, I filed all the color off, then I shortened it. And it was kind of like I filed off color I didn't need to because it would have come off whenever I shortened it anyhow. So again, I'm still learning. I'm not a professional. Trial and error. I learn as I go. So I'm shortening and then I'll be removing all of the color from my pointer finger. And you can kind of see the glitter a little bit there. Kind of like a confetti glitter, but it was like a holographic and I loved it. So I am continuing to remove all of the color. What kind of colors do you typically like? Are you the kind of person that always goes for like pinks, reds? Do you like nude colors, neutral colors, bright and bold colors? I always, for me, feel like my nails are an expression of my personality and my mood. So here you can see that I did all of one hand. You can definitely see there are some lifted parts, but I'm going to go back with a finer drill bit in a little bit. I don't want to, put a coarse barrel or a coarse drill bit on my natural nails. So here I flipped hands. I'm naturally left-handed, so here I'm using my right hand. And as you can see, I kind of almost hold it like a first grader holds their pencils when they're learning to really write, or kindergartner, I should say. Kind of like holding it in my fist rather than between fingers. Whenever you're using your non-dominant hand, this is what I personally have found works the best. If I try to hold it like I would normally hold a pencil, I find that I just lose control of it, and then I end up burning myself. I end up like nicking my skin. It's not pretty. Again, that was something I learned in trial and error and just by practicing. I also will a lot of times actually move my finger that I'm trying to file. So here I have everything. I am picking out my next bit. So the next one that I'm using is like a medium, it's called the medium Typhoon 5-in-1. It's the 5-in-1 bit. So that's what I'll use on a lower speed of the drill to actually remove all of the lifted pieces. Again, I didn't want to use a coarse bit on my natural nail bed because that could cause a lot of damage. So I also slowed the speed down using the medium grit. Is that the right term? The medium grit. 5-in-1 barrel, and I'm just getting all the lift. So from here I am dusting off because obviously when you drill you create a lot of dust, pushing all of my cuticles back. And then there's this fun little handy dandy bit that I'm going to be using here in a hot second, and it's actually designed to take off the dead skin around your nail, like around the cuticle area. It does not remove the cuticle itself, but any skin that you've pushed back off of your nail plate, it actually removes, and I love it. So you use it at a low speed because again, you don't want a high speed bit going on your natural nail plate or nail bed. You'll cause damage. It hurts. I've done it before. I actually created dents in my nail bed when I was first learning how to do this. You have to take a very light touch. So just doing my right hand, and you can see here how I hold it like it's a pencil because I'm using my left hand and it's my dominant hand. Again, it just takes practice, but you can do it. So I'm just removing all of the dead tissue. And then after that, I go very slow with this. I'm so sorry, guys. This one takes forever. But again, I don't want to hurt my natural nails. So after this, I do then use, I don't even know what you'd call it. It has like a little ball on the end of it, and it just cleans everything up and it helps push everything back and clean it up. What is it called? Like a cuticle ball bit? I don't know. I got nothing. So interesting fact though, underneath all of the acrylic that's there is my natural nail. With the dip powder, I have found that my natural nails will actually grow. So after this, I use a fine sanding mandrel bit. I think it's called the mandrel bit. And what that does is that just removes the shine from your natural nail. It should not grind down into your nail bed. I've learned that from Susie at Nail Career Education, that you only want to take the shine off of your nail so that the product will adhere the best. It also is why you really shouldn't pick at your nails whenever you have acrylics or dip powder or gel or anything like that, because that will actually remove a layer of your natural nail. So I start out with my prep, and what that does is it helps dehydrate, it helps prepare my nail for the natural product. So again, this is dip powder. So the way that I like to start with it is I start with a coat of the natural coloring, which acts as my base, and then I do 2 coats of my color, and then I do a clear cap. So the base is essentially like your resin glue type thing. That is what mixes with the powder and activates it and turns it into that acrylic hardness. So you can see that I do 1 coat, thin coat of clear, natural all over the entire nail plate. There are times where if I do like a super see-through glitter, I will use the clear instead of the natural just to give it even more clearness. So you can see that I'm using the base coat and then making sure my nail plate is dehydrated and cleaned, and then putting the base coat and then dipping it. And I think the way that I did it for this video is I did it one hand at a time. Normally I will go through and do every finger so that it's less steps, but for the sake of not having an hour and a half long video, I decided to do each hand at a time, and then I was able to cut. So you'll see me come back and be doing color at this point. And between every coat, you always want to dust off any excess, because if you get any powder into the base coat brush, it's going to like make it all gunky. So the colors that I'm using are from Kiara Sky. The red is called Hot Chocolate or Haute Chocolate. And then the champagne glitter is called First Class Ticket. So I just paint it over, dip it, and tap it off. Now, little caveat here. So I only use the powder on my fingers. So typically for sanitary reasons, you would want to like scoop it onto the cutting board that I use. That's actually an old plastic cutting board that I commandeered for my nails. So for sanitary purposes, if you were getting dip powder done in a salon, for example, they would actually have like a little scoop that they would paint the base on, and then hold your hand over the table and scoop the powder onto it, so that, again, sanitary reasons. Because I only do my own nails, I don't do that, and I just dip them right in. So I've done 2 coats of the color, and here at this point I am going to do my clear coat. So I am painting the base on, and I like to dip it twice. So I dip it once, let it start to absorb, and then I dip it a second time just to be on the safe side and just to make sure that everything has had clear on it. Because when you file and you smooth out the surface of that, you're filing the clear. You don't want to be filing the color, because then it looks all weird, and I've done it before. It does not look good. So I'm going through and doing the whole hand. And once that's all done, then there is the Seal Protect. And you're going to want to do this a couple different times. So you do it once. And what this does is it activates the base to the powder and hardens it. So it does harden into that hard acrylic hardness. I can't think of the right word, I guess. So at this point, I am filing and shaping. I personally like to hand file at this point. I file the sides, I file the edge. I like a little bit of a coffin style nail, a little bit of a tapered, so that's what I do. And then I take my file and I go across the nail, and that just helps me make sure that everything is smooth, it's even, that there's no lumps and bumps, and that, it will look nice once I actually polish it up. So when you're done with this step, you'll need to, kind of like what you do in a normal nail salon, you rinse with water, no soap. So you just rinse your hands off and then you dry them. And then what you do after you rinse them to get all the excess nail dust off is you do another coat of Seal Protect. And this really makes sure that everything is hard, everything is sealed, everything is going to be cured, whatever term you want to use. And then I found personally for me, it works best if once that's done, any excess I wipe off with like a damp paper towel. So when I rinse my hands off, I'll dry them off with a paper towel, and then I'll use that because the Seal Protect is also what helps harden the top coat. So at this point, you want to do 2 layers of the top coat, and then it dries within less than 5 minutes, which is amazing. So that's how I do my nails, and I go from blue and silver to red and champagne. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you for tomorrow's Vlogmas video.